Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you this lovely bracelet. We are going to make another one of these stretch bracelets, and we're going to use a different component for this, but they're basically rhinestone spacers. So let's increase this and take a look. So this is kind of a fun, this color is Arctic blue, and it looks like gorgeous turquoise. It's so lovely. And I use these rhinestone spacers. So let me show you what those look like away from the bracelet. So in my last video of stretch bracelet, I showed this container full of rhinestone spacer beads, and somebody asked where I got the container like full of these beads. So this has been years of collecting the different shapes, and I think these came from Diane from Connecticut. She sent me in friend mail, and there's some from Kath as well, and then these tiny ones. So most of them I get from AliExpress. You can get them at Michael's. I think these were Michael's ones, these square ones. But the idea with these here, so there's two here, they have other shapes that have more holes. They're a little more expensive, so it's kind of one of those things that unless you're going to make something with it, it's kind of hard to build a stash of it. Let me see if I can get, there we go. So this was the rounded, I call it half moon one that I used in this bracelet here. So you can see how incredible it looks. Now I probably could have used a larger bead. I used a 8mm pearl on this. I think if I'd have gone up to a 10, these would like go to the edge of this piece here. So you can see it kind of sticks out a bit, but it still looks lovely. And this has 3 holes. So you can actually do, say, 3 6mm or 3 4mm strands, and then you just do multiples. With the stretch cord, you just do multiples. You can space them out however you want. So let's take a look and see what we can do with these guys here. So these ones have 2 holes, and I think we're going to use these slate gray, I think they're called. Yeah, slate gray, and these are 8mm as well. And actually, I'm going to set this up and see if that's actually going to fit. We may have to go to a 6. It looks a bit small. Then put 2 on the other side. So actually, that looks pretty good. They are coming out to the edge, but it should be fine. Yeah, that'll look great. So let me count. I got 2, 4, 6, 7. Let me put this one back in the container. This one here, I used 6 of these half circle or half moon, and then I used sets of 4 pearls in between each and doubled it, of course, and did 6 of those. This ends up being fitting a 7-inch wrist. So I wanted to make a 7.5, so I'm adding 1 extra of these and 1 extra set of 4 pearls. Really, it's 8 because there's 2 rows. The other thing I wanted to mention about these is they have a front and a back, so you have to pay attention to that when you're stringing it, because you have a front and a back, and you have a top hole and a bottom hole. So when you're stringing, and because you have 2 holes, you got to remember which way to string it, but we'll do that together. So it's the same with this. There's a front and a back. So put that there. We'll put that one aside. And the other thing I wanted to show you, I'm kind of excited to show you this. I've done a video in a bracelet making stretch bracelet video maybe a year or two ago, and I also did an individual video on how to create a needle for threading your stretch cord. And the reason I did that is you can buy them at I'm just looking, these are not all the same. Sorry, squirrel. So here's the 2 holes, and these are 3 holes. You know what I think is I ran out of space in my container. So let's see if it was the 2 hole that we were looking at. I think it was. So let me double check that those are going to fit. We might test it out on the 3 hole. So let's see what the 3 hole looks like. Put the right way. So the 3 hole would work as well. You could probably go up to a size 10 pearl. Yeah, 10 millimeter pearl. So I think what we'll do is we will work with the 2 holes, because the 3 holes are a little more expensive. I think I'd like to save these to make a 3-strand bracelet. So let's, oh, I think what it is the bins are next to each other and they just got mixed up. So we need 7 of these 2 holes. So there's 3 and 4 is 7. And let's put the 3 holes back. Okay. So you can buy a stretch cord threader needle from Michael's. And I think they're about $10. I think it's a Beading thing. But I find that they're not very strong. The part that you attach your stretch cord to, there's a little kind of a hook, and it actually breaks pretty easily. So sorry, I'm just getting the computer ready here. It helps to light up what I'm doing, so my screen's really big. Okay, so yes, if you watch Brittany from Turquoise Street, she uses it a lot. So these needles are quite long. You can string all your beads onto it so that you know where everything's going, and you hook on your stretch cord to it and then you pull it through. But unfortunately, it's hard to get it through. Our hole sizes are not always as big as we'd like them. So anyway, I came up with this idea of doing your own needle. This way, if 1, I've never had one break, and 2, it's easy. You can do it if you have some wire at home. So let's take a look at what I'm going to use. So for these, because the holes are kind of small, I'm using a 24 gauge. You could probably get away with a 20 gauge. Definitely not an 18 gauge. It would be too thick to go through these beads. But so we're just going to take a piece. Now, the length of your wire is going to depend on how much you want to bead onto it. I just want to be able to get, a few beads at a time on. And I'm using this stretch cord that is like a flat, I think they call it floss. And I think it's 0.5 millimeters, the diameter. And I say diameter, it's actually flat, so it's not really a diameter. But it's because it's thin, it's kind of floppy, so it's hard to weave. So that's why I want to use one of these. So, and that's what I used for this bracelet. But I'm going to show you how to make one. Super simple. So grab a piece of wire. Now you can straighten the wire and with your nylon pliers. You don't have to. If you don't have any nylon pliers, just use your thumb and your index finger and bring it along. That'll straighten it out. You're trying to harden it a bit, and I kind of do that while it's still on the the reel. It just makes it easier to hang on to, but you can use a pair of pliers to do that. So just harden it a bit. I don't know how hard that's actually going to make it, but we're going to try. So then you're just going to clip a piece off. So this is what I have, like that. So now you're going to fold the end over. So I'm going to use my flat nose, but you can use regular pliers as well. You don't need a big piece to fold over, so I'm just going to fold it over like this with my finger. You can see how easy that is. Okay, so now you want to see how tight you can get this. Now, if your wire keeps turning like it's doing for me, I'm going to hang on to it with another pair of pliers here, like this. Hold on tight, and then just squeeze that end so it's still turning. Let's see if we can. I have to try some different pliers here. Yeah, it keeps turning. Let me grab some pliers. Let me try these. Okay. Hang on tight. And so the reason we want to squeeze this as snugly as we can is because that has to go through the bead. Okay, let's try it this way. That way it shouldn't flip. There, just like that. As you can see, it's nice and tight, and you are going to just open it slightly here so we can get our cord in there. Put your nail in maybe. Where are we here? There. Just open it a teensy bit and you can squeeze it back. So there's your needle. That's it. That's all you need. So let's go ahead. I have some beads out ready. We're just basically going to string it. Now, the other thing in the comments from the previous stretch bracelet that I made in a video, the kind of antique style classic yellow pearls, people mentioned that they double this up. So we're going to do that. That's what I did for this one. Thank you so much for that recommendation. I forgot all about that I don't use this one as much as I use this type of stretch cord. You can do it with this stretch cord, but this of course is thicker. So I kind of like this, and a lot of people that commented said, you know, this is all they use is this type, and it's really nice. It's very stretchy, and you also want to pre-stretch your cord. I find with this one it's not as necessary. This seems to go right back to the right length, but you might want to, because once you start wearing it and stretching, it might stay a bit stretched and then it's too big for you. So now that's the length that you're going to cut for this is going to depend on your bracelet size, but I'm just going to use this as my example. And let me tilt the camera here so that I don't go out of frame. So let's just kind of do something like that. And so this is not very scientific. There's my measurement. This is awfully dark. Let me see if I can brighten this up a little. Sorry, I'm the wow, this is the camera is just like doing its own thing. Okay, so let's cut this. And another hint that people gave me is to let me try that there. Another hint is to leave it on the spool. Don't cut it and string everything. But I'm gonna live wild here and just go off script. So just gonna bring that in too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread this through at the middle point. So let's get that on there like that, and then you can kind of pinch that. That's it. Now what I'm going to do to the other side, I am going to be careful, is I'm going to put a bead stopper on the end. We have lots of cord, so we can leave a lot, and that's not going anywhere. Okay, oops, one of the pearls escaped. So let's put these aside. So what I decided to do, because I want the 7.5, rather than add a 5th bead in between each of these, I decided to add a set of 4 on top of it. So this should bring me to the 7.5. We'll test it before we go, but I think if I'd have gone with a bead in between each one, it would be a little too big. But actually, now that I do the calculation in my head, I'm going from 4 and there's 6. So yeah, I would have been 2 beads extra. So let's just, all you do is put your beads on your needle. So we're doing sets of 4 and then a rhinestone. So remember, keep your rhinestones in the same position. So if you're not sure, put it on your mat like that. There's the top, so all the crystals are at the front, and we're coming from the right hand side, top hole. So, because once you get this on here, it's going to start spinning around. So now go to our next set of 4 beads. And so let's remember, we want our crystals to the front, like that. And we're going to come from the right top hole like that. So now we have enough on this needle. I think we can start pulling it down. So I wouldn't try and pull everything down at once. Do 1 bead at a time. You see how easy that goes on. And just wiggle your bead around if it's like, twist it like that. So some might be tight because there's more finish. Yeah, there's lots more finish on this. There. Just want to make sure that's closed all the way. And then get this. Oh, I see what's happening. The folded over end of the needle is opening up a bit. So let's pinch that close. That's it. Simple. And you can just pull through your fingers to straighten your needle again. So let's take a look at what this looks like. Like that. Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. So we can take it down a little more and keep going. So we need 4 pearls. Like that. 4. And we take our crystal, go from the right top hole, and add 4 pearls. And we'll have to keep track because I have enough for the whole. I guess once we're done with these guys, we know that we have gone around all the way. So grab your rhinestone and go through the right side and the top hole. Now let's pull some of these down. See how lovely this is. Looks like this hole is not complete. There. So this is what we have. So far, this is looking amazing. I'm just checking they're all in the right orientation. So let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a rhinestone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a rhinestone. Let's pull these down. I feel like I'm going in fast motion. Some of these pearls had a lot of finish, so that's why it's getting stuck. It's just, yeah, that's good. There. This looks really big, so let me test this on my mandrel. You know what? It's fine. I'm so used to, my wrist size is 6 3/4, so it's super tiny, and so I'm used to bracelets that size. So when I see something like this, I'm like, oh, that's way too big, and it's not. So let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, in the rhinestone, and then 4. No, actually, we're good on the other side. That should do it. Oh, this one's not, yeah, the holes. Let me see if I can grab hold of my needle. Okay, that's not going on. Let's try a different bead. Oh, the hole is small on that side, so let's just poke that out. Yeah, I felt something kind of click there. Let's try and... Yeah, there's some finish still in this one. I could see it. Oh yeah, that hole is tiny. This won't even go in. So let's put that one aside and grab a different one. So, and this one's all like weird shaped. We're gonna have to get some more out off the strand here. Let's see if this one will work. These are super inexpensive pearls. I think they were like $1.50 a strand that I got at Butterfly Beads, and they have sales all the time if you're interested. I don't know about US shipping for butterfly beads. I know they do it, but the shipping costs have gone up so much, and these pearls are heavy, so I think there's a company in the States, and I can't remember the name of it, that has um, pearls like this, and they're basically the same price as the ones I got on sale. So definitely take a look. I'm just going to double check that my rhinestones are all on the same side. And the way I test it before I take anything off is I take the two sides and pinch it like that and then twist it, and that kind of holds it. So that looks massive. So let me see on my mandrel here. Yeah, that's way too big. And I wonder if it's because I've stretched it. No, that's way too big. So I think I need to take 2 beads off. So let's go to our... Let's go this way. I may regret that I took it off of this side. I'll tell you why. Because if I have to add another, I'm going to have to thread it without the needle. Oh, I wasn't thinking. So let's loosely get that on there and then test it again. So that is a loose 7.5. So you know what? I am going to... I wonder if this one I did tight, but it still should be the same. Let's take... So I think maybe what happened with this one here is because I have one less set of pearls, I also had one less of these. So that was probably enough to make a difference. So let's see what this does. Do you know what? I kind of want to take this off because it looks funny having two side by side. So let's see what this does. Okay, put that on. So it is, I think it probably needs one more bead there. So we'll add a bead back onto this. Let's go. Let's do it on the other side. We'll make it easier. So let's take this off and put one bead on. There. And then let's make sure we get this on the right side. Okay, so it's this way. I'm upside down now. Here we go. Okay. We will test it one more time. Tell you that is the biggest thing that I've learned with beading is measure, measure, measure. I'm sure it's the same with any skill that you're doing. It's like, so there, it's kind of loose. I'm going to make it tight by tightening this, but there, it's your 7.5. So, okay. So you can pop this off now. All you do is bring your needle back, pop this off. I am going to create a big knot. So I'm just pulling this out a bit so that I can get my knot lower. Just bring it down like this and do the best you can to get that, keep that knot low. You want it right by the strand there, like that. There, so that's nice and tight. And I'm just making sure that this is not gonna loosen. That's pretty good. I'm gonna leave the end on just for now, in case it loosens, and then we can adjust. I'm going to test this. I feel like I probably did it too tight. Yeah, I did, look. So let's see if we can stretch this out a bit. Okay, let's get our second strand on. So just, the needle's all bent, just grab it with your fingers. And this is the great thing about using 24 gauge for this needle. So now we need our stretch cord again. And I got this stretch cord on AliExpress. It actually came with two, but I'm looking at it. I haven't used this one yet, and there doesn't look like there's a whole lot on this spool. I did find some, and I'll post the link for it. That was the best price I could find. So let me see what I need here. So let's do about that and double it. There. That there. And cut that. I'm just going to open this up a bit because I feel like maybe you're not seeing everything that I'm doing. Bring it together and take the folded side and get it on your needle. So just pull it down like that and slide it over. That simple. Straighten that out. We'll put a bead stopper on this end. Let's get the two sides here. And put that extra one away. So let's take a look, because now we're going to use these pieces as our outer piece. So you can put the knots in the same place. I think I'm going to move it one over, so then you don't have a bunch of, I mean, you're not going to see that knot anyway, but I'll just move it over one. So let's go ahead and start by going through. So I'm going to go through the other hole. So I flip them all over. Let me open this up a bit. So I flip them all over so you can see the rhinestones. So I'm going to go through the bottom hole with the, from the left side now, like that. And put my bead stopper there and start threading. So add 4 pearls. There, bring it down. That, and then go through the next rhinestone. That, and continue like that all the way around. That hole looks pretty small. Let me see if we can open that up a bit. Yeah, perfect. That's fine. There. So I didn't even need this long of a needle, so you can make a smaller needle. But just to show you how easy it is. If you're like me, I was really interested in doing wire wrapping, so I bought all the different supplies, and then I quickly realized I am so bad at it. Now I've had some people that have given me some great advice and suggested some inexpensive wire from the hardware store to practice on, and we don't go to the hardware store because it's dangerous. We have renovations that we need to do in the house. So every time we go to the renovation store for something, it's like, oh, maybe we should do this. And then all of a sudden we're in full-blown reno time. I'm just going to get rid of this one. It's got some funky sides to it. There's the fourth. So yeah, I haven't been to the hardware store. And as my wife says, you have enough projects going on. And then go through your rhinestone spacer. Pull through. Okay, let's put these guys over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, I have lots of wire around the house, or in my office. I still haven't given up on doing wire wrapping, I think. This one's stuck. Oh, the hole's really small. There we go. Bring that down. Go through. You can see it's starting to pop up like this inside, but once we get it done, you just pop it. As long as each one is going in the same direction, it works. Go through that rhinestone. My needle's opening up, so we'll squeeze that closed. So you can see the needle's kind of opening, and look, this is how easy it is. This is easy peasy. Let me see if I can open this one. This looks pretty teeny tiny. Yeah, that worked. I think, yeah, I better go through this side. 2, 3, 4. Pull these down. Go through your rhinestone. So let's just get these pieces out of the way. And go through. And we got to put 5 on this one. Yeah, I would have put 4 and go, why is it all awkward? Like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Four and 5. That hole looks teeny tiny. And you can always add embellishments to this, like a little charm or something, or do a wire wrapped crystal and add it to it. But I thought I'd show you these rhinestone spacers. They're super cool. So, okay, so that's it. Let's get this off the, grab our, so let's bring this out a bit so it's kind of the same. Make sure everything's through. Oh, this is looking amazing. And bring it tight and bring our knot down. Now I know that with the other type of stretch cord, I used to use some GS Hypo on the knot, but you know, it's kind of, there's a debate out there whether you need to, and whether the GS Hypo, so you see this is pulling loose, so that's why I wanted to check this. So let me just pull this, and it went back down. Let me put another knot in here, and that should take care of it. So yeah, whether the GS Hypo like damages the stretch cord and makes it brittle. So, but the other thing you could do is put a dab of it and then slide the knot in the bead, and it will glue it to the bead. It won't come apart. So this looks like it is not coming apart, so we can clip this. And leave a teeny little tail. It will get hidden in your rhinestone, or you can slide it into the bead. There, it's inside the bead. And let's flip this open, and we'll do the same with this one. So let's find our two separate sides like this and create just a regular knot. That down, nice and tight. Stretch it out there, and like that. Get rid of these pieces, and let's slide this into that bead here. So we'll just pull that through, like I don't want to be messing with it. Let's try it on the other side. That hole looks bigger. Let's go the other way. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. It's kind of right there, but it's hidden in the rhinestone. And there is your beautiful. This looks amazing. So this is the 2-hole rhinestone spacer, and it looks awesome. So let's take a look at these 2 bracelets. Ta-da! So yeah, pull out your pearls and your rhinestone spacer beads. These are awesome. Hope you enjoyed that, and hope you enjoyed my little trick with my bent needle now. But super cool. I have these all over the place in my wire drawer. There we go. Take care. Bye.